like before. It's a better place I've ever seen. Yeah, I've been since 2016. Said it's good in a minute, wait and see. Why? Because of you and me. 'Cause I get tired of walking alone. With you I feel at home. 'Cause I ain't got no home. Let's drag it out some more, yeah. Killing time, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm fine. 25 hours a day. And there's the lie. Watching for anything. 'Cause I am right. And you are you. Yeah. Well, I can feel it in the winter. The crash in the sky. Well, I just sitting down here wondering why. You left me alone. Oh, what's that? The rain in the sky, you can have it. Said the felt too great about. And that's a fact. Yeah. Anytime, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I'm fine. 25 hours a day. Amazed that I won't take for anything. Yes, I am who I am, and you are you. Killing time, it's hard enough for me to say. I swear I was fine. 25 hours a day. You know that I won't take for anything. 'Cause I am right. And you are you.
Boom, here we are. Here we are, back again. I bet you guys thought you weren't going to see another Champions League watch-along from me this season, but I'm not quitting the Champions League. Just because we got absolutely embarrassed by Real Madrid doesn't mean I'm not going to be here for the hate watches. And I had to decide, I had to think carefully. I was at work today and I was thinking to myself, Nathan, who do we want to hate watch tonight? Are we hate watching Real Madrid? Or are we hate watching Arsenal? And although I knew that Real Madrid was probably going to be the more successful hate watch, I thought to myself, nah, we'll watch the English team. We'll watch the English team. We'll watch Arsenal. Big up everybody in chat. Big up FT. Big up Jams in chat. Let's go. Remember, guys, like the stream if you haven't already. This is going to be an unsuccessful hate watch. I can already sense it. You know, I'm not getting my hopes up. I'm not going to sit here and think that I'm about to watch a sporting masterclass because, you know, although last time I watched sporting, it was a sporting masterclass. Obviously, their comeback against Bodo Glimt. As you know, if you were here for my Real Madrid Man City watch along second leg, you know that sporting game gave me hope. It gave me false hope. What are my predictions? If I'm honest, I think this is either going to be 1-0 Arsenal or 1-1. I don't think Arsenal are going to blow Sporting away, but at the same time, I think they should do the job. They should do the job. You know, they have to put this 2-game bad run of form, which is crazy to say that it's 2 games, but obviously that's the truth. They're on a, you know, poor game run at the moment. Last 2 games. Obviously, yeah, it's been bad for them, and they need to put it to an end before they get back into the league, and we potentially make some ground upon them. Do I give mod? I do give out mods. Yes, I do give out mods, but you know, I've got a bit of a kind of a strict process for it at the moment. The only mods in chat are 2 of my boys. You know, you got to be a regular in here to become a mod in it, and obviously, you know, I've got to sort of assess to see if you have common sense or not, because some of you guys are mad. Like I love you all, but some of you are mad. Some of you are madmen. I gotta say that, man. I gotta say that. Even some of my mods, madmen. The people that get timed out the most in this chat are my mods. They come in here with a crazy rage bait, and they've got to hold the 24-hour ban. They know who they are. They're probably here now. They're probably lurking in the shadows, waiting to hit me with a rage bait. The straight 24-hour ban for them. Everybody else, you know, you'll get hit with like an hour timeout, maybe a 10-minute timeout. Them man should know better. They get the straight 24-hour timeout. You know, it's standard. But you know, I'm very interested to see how Arsenal approach this game. I really am. I'm very interested to see, because surely not winning here does set a bad precedent going back into the league. I think, is it Bournemouth they've got in the league? On the weekend, Bournemouth. Obviously that's a you know, Bournemouth aren't in great form. They're on an unbeaten run, but obviously they're not winning games, but at the same time they're not losing games either. And if Arsenal like fail to win here against Sporting, it is going to sort of put a lot more pressure on them going into the league. Losing 3 games across 3 different competitions, then coming back into the league, you know, it does put pressure on you. But you know, if any of you guys watched Judge Mo's show yesterday, I obviously said on there that I don't think Arsenal bottle the league, because this is Arteta's legacy on the line right now, right? This is Arteta's legacy on the line right now. If they bottle this league and he somehow doesn't get sacked, even if he wins the league next season, he'll never ever be able to get rid of the bottlers tag, right? Whereas if he wins the league this season, he could go on to potentially build a dynasty. So this is his legacy on the line, more important than it's ever been before to win the league. This is the make or break, and I don't see himself. I don't see him allowing himself to be known as a bottler for the rest of his career. I don't see it. This is make or break, and obviously this is where we're going to see what he is really made of. But for me, he sees out the league. He sees out the league. Champions League, I don't think they win the Champions League, but he sees out the league from here 100%. 110%. 110%. But who knows? If we win our game in hand, and then also beat Arsenal, that's 3 points. They could drop that 3 points. They could drop that 3 points in the other 5 games. They could do. And then it's goal difference. You know, anything could happen. Keyword being could. But again, Arsenal win this league, plain and simple. We just need to focus on beating Southampton and then beating whoever makes the final. If we make the final, 2 trophies, you know, return to form kind of a little bit. Do you know what I mean? But Arsenal, they win the league. Don't think they win the Champions League. What's your predictions for Bayern Madrid? I see a 2-2 draw. I think 2-2 draw in that game. Again, I want to say Bayern will win, but you can't write off Real Madrid in the Champions League. You just can't do it. You just cannot do it. Not at all. You'll never ever see me go against Real Madrid in the Champions League. I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson predicting that Real Madrid are going to lose in the Champions League. I learned my lesson. It doesn't go well. It doesn't go well. It really doesn't go well, but you know, again, I don't see Real Madrid winning the Champions League as well. But at the same time, like, the thing with Real Madrid is I don't see them winning the Champions League, right? But at the same time, I can't predict them to lose a game because I know what they do. I know what they do in this competition. We've all seen what they do in this competition. Like, what they did in 2022, what they did in the Champions League in 2022 across the game against PSG, Chelsea, City, you'll never see that again. You'll never ever see such witchcraft as you saw Real Madrid pull off in 2022 in the Champions League. You'll never see it again. Never ever. Never seen a team be down and out that many times and just decide, yeah, now we're winning this game, don't worry. Scoring just the right amount to win every single knockout game. Scoring just the right amount of goals. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Benzema's a madman. Courtois a madman. Modric, madman. Rodrigo, madman. What they were doing is nuts. Vinicius, madman. What Benzema did in that second leg against PSG, going into the first leg against Chelsea, outrageous. What Rodrigo did in the second leg against us, outrageous. What Courtois did in that final, borderline illegal. That Modric pass to Rodrigo against Chelsea in the second leg, criminal. You'll never ever see it again. Never ever see it again. I could not believe what I was watching at times, watching Real Madrid in 2022 in the Champions League, because I don't even think they were good. I would watch their games and I would think for majority of that game they did not play well. Just one of their players, just one, maybe two of them would just turn up and just decide, yeah, now we're winning this game. Unfortunately, buddy, like, they'd go to their opponents, yeah, you've had your fun, you think you're winning this game, yeah, move aside, let me get in the driver's seat. It was nuts. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Like, I've never seen a team play so poor yet be so inevitable at the same time. I was blown away. Craziest stuff I've ever seen. Like, I just don't understand how they did it. To this day, it's one of like the world's greatest mysteries how Real Madrid pulled off that 2022 Champions League win. It blows me away. Like I've said many times on this channel, after that semi-final second leg, I was sat there in silence for a good hour and a half after that game. I sat there in pure silence. Not a single word left my mouth. But anyway, enough of my predictions, lads. What have you got? What is everyone telling me in the chat, predictions wise? What's everyone telling me? For Arsenal and for Real Madrid. Like, what's everyone telling me prediction wise? I want to hear what everyone's got to say. Again, like I said, I think it's 1-1 here. I think it's 1-1 here in Lisbon. And then in Munich, I'm saying 2-2. I don't think we're getting any winners in this first leg. No winner. 2-1 Bayern. Now you can never ever 2-1 Arsenal, 2-1 Bayern. That's fair, but I don't think you can ever go against Real Madrid in the Champions League, because they'll just win. Like, I don't know, like they just will win. It doesn't matter how. I mean, what even in 2024, what they did against Bayern, madness. Like there's like stuff just man. But you know, I'd like to see Bayern win, of course. I'd 100% love to see Bayern win. But what Joselu did in that 3 minutes against Bayern at the Bernabeu, yeah, that's up there with 2022. Just absolutely nuts. What's the best game I've watched live? Who's the best game I've watched live? This is a weird one, right? This is 100% a weird one. Because it was a loss, right? It was a loss. But I think being able to witness this happen in front of me was crazy. I think when I watched Spurs beat City at the Etihad in the Champions League, like, although it was a loss and it was heartbreaking and I was so disappointed and I was like so crushed by the defeat, watching that De Bruyne performance in front of me, like, it was nuts. I thought De Bruyne was exceptional that game. The atmosphere in that game was exceptional. And again, it's so disappointing and so soul-crushing that we lost that game, especially with the Llorente handball and the Sterling goal getting disallowed. But the match as a whole, taking away from the result, was amazing, I think. There's a few others in there as well. I mean, Mahrez is my favourite player of all time. Watching him score a hat-trick at Wembley against Sheffield United. Again, that was a top-tier experience. That was literally the only time I ever got to watch Mahrez play. Every other time I went to watch City, while Mahrez was at City, Pep gave him 0 minutes. And then I got to watch him score a hat-trick in the only time I got to watch Mahrez play. That was I love that one. And then I know you didn't ask, but for the two worst, the FA Cup final last season was very, very disappointing, especially for the money that I spent as well. Very, very disappointing. And losing 2-0 in the Carabao Cup at St Mary's as well. That was dark. That was very dark. That was actually, like, the atmosphere, the performance, the result. That was actually the worst, like, footballing match I've ever seen, I think. 100%. Like, the atmosphere was dead. So dead in that away end. I remember as well, like, I was at the time, it was cold as well. It was just dark. It was so dark. Not a fond experience. What are your thoughts on Foden getting benched recently? I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, I haven't enjoyed watching Foden play. Like, when I've been watching Foden play since the start of 2026, it's brought me no joy. His performances have brought me no joy. And I'm not going to say he's been downright awful, because I don't think he's been awful. I think there's been moments where I've liked what I've seen from Foden. But he's just not playing to his strengths. And I've noticed that. Like, he's not doing what you want to watch Foden do, which is pick up the ball on the edge of the box, pick up the ball on the half turn and run into space, shoot from the edge of the box, snapshots from the edge of the box. You know, he's not doing that. He's playing very, very safe. He's not taking too many risks. And that's what makes it frustrating for me. So I do think on form, Foden definitely should be benched. But obviously for me it's very disappointing, because Foden's one of my favourite players, obviously, as you can see behind me. And you know, I actually thought after 2024 he was really going to kick on and become one of the best players in the world, but you know, his confidence, there's something clearly wrong there, and hopefully he can get to the bottom of it before it's too late. But you know, unfortunately there are better players than him performing at the moment. You know, I don't think there's, ability wise, I don't think there's better players than Foden in the squad, but performance wise, unfortunately there are better players than Foden in the squad, which is very, very disappointing, because I love Phil, and a lot of City fans obviously do love Phil. Like, he's the original star boy, so it is very sad. But unfortunately, we're in O'Reilly season now. We're in O'Reilly season, so big up O'Reilly, huge up O'Reilly every single time. He is the boy. You know, I thought we were in Rico Lewis season. We were not in Rico Lewis season, man. I really did think we were in Rico season, but it wasn't to be for Rico, unfortunately. And then I thought we were in McAtee season. We were not in McAtee season. And I'm still sad we never got to see Lavia season. Although his career is not panning out the way you'd expect it to due to injury. What a player he is, and it's very disappointing we never got to see him play at City in the first team. But you know, we're here for O'Reilly season. We're here for a long may it continue. Long may O'Reilly season continue. O'Reilly's the boy. 110%. But you know, that's for the weekend. At the moment, we're actually here for Sporting versus Arsenal in the Champions League. Champions League nights. Champions League nights do not hit the same when your team's not in it, man. Like, it's actually sad. Like, this should be us, but unfortunately Donnarumma had to play one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a goalkeeper in the first leg against Real Madrid. And now here we are. But, you know, big up Sporting. Not so much big up Arsenal. But, you know. And big up Bayern as well. Huge big up to Bayern. Remember, guys, like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already before this game kicks off. Before the hate watch kicks off. Again, I don't think it's going to be a successful hate watch at all, but you know, you can always dream. You can always dream, ladies and gentlemen. You can always dream. Always dream. I can already sense it, man. Trossard goal to make it 1-0. Trossard goal to make it 1-0, and then Arsenal see the game out. Like 36 minutes, Trossard goal. I could see it. Trossard 1-0, 36 minutes, I could see it. What are the odds on Trossard to open the scoring? I might just put like a quid on it on Bet365 because I can see it. I think Trossard opens the scoring here. If there's decent odds for me just putting a quid on it, I'll actually back that, because I think Trossard definitely does open the scoring here. Never mind, the app doesn't want to load. The app's not wanting to load. Where is it? All sports. UEFA Champions League. Sporting versus Arsenal. Alright, bet builder. Where's player to score first? Where's the score first? Am I? Ah, yeah, there it is. Arsenal. Trossard to score first. Oh, yeah, you know, I'm putting it £1 on Trossard to score first. There's only a £4 return on it, but you know, I can just feel it. I think that's a Trossard. Like, I'm not backing it too much, or I'm gonna put like a significant amount of money on it. But like, I'm happy to test my luck with it with a singular pound to see if this feeling that I have of Trossard scoring first is real. Because you know, he's just one of those players, isn't he? Like, he will just score in a 1-0 win. That's just Trossard. Every time I think of Trossard, he's either scoring the equaliser for Arsenal or he's scoring the opener in a 1-0 win. That's Trossard in a nutshell for me. Can I think of Trossard doing actually anything on the ball? No. But Trossard scoring a goal when they need him to, yeah, that's what he does. That's Trossard in a nutshell. 100%. But you know, you can only hope for the Sporting win. We can only hope. We can only hope. We can only hope. Last 2 times I watched Sporting, they did win. Against Bodo Glimt, and unfortunately that time against City, which we're not going to talk about. That Gyökeres hat-trick that we're never ever talking about ever again. That Amarin special. Dark stuff. Dark stuff, ladies and gentlemen, that was. Really dark. I'm so glad I did not do watch-alongs at that time. I don't even know if I did a video actually around that time. Let me actually look at my channel page. Let's look at my channel page. Did I do a video around the time of when we lost to Sporting? Remember guys, subscribe to the channel. We're literally 4 subscribers away from 1.1k, which is obviously a huge achievement. So thank you all, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I've got to scroll back down. No, I didn't. I actually didn't make a video. To be fair, last year I wasn't really on. I didn't really upload as many videos as I probably wanted to. I was struggling with motivation last year, to be fair. But again, this year we've been back. This year we've definitely been back, especially this season as well. Like, I've definitely been back on it, especially with the more watch-alongs, you know, talking about a range of different stuff that's not just City. Like, cause I feel like when you just talk about your club, sometimes it can get boring, because it's just like, sometimes I just want to watch City and enjoy watching City and not have to like just talk about and nitpick every little thing. But you know, it's easier. Like, in some regards, it is easier to talk about your team and cover your team. But at the same time, like, sometimes it can be easier as well to just do it on a team that you don't follow and you don't support, because like, it's easier to give, but it's more entertaining, I think, to give bias analysis than it is bias analysis. I think, you know, and it shows your footballing knowledge a bit better as well when you're doing unbiased analysis. But, you know, here we are. Well, that's just me. That is just me. Ah, nice. I've just spilled that all over my desk. That is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Come on, Sporting. What have you got for me? What do you have for me on this Tuesday evening? This Tuesday evening. What do you have for me? Again, I'm probably making a mistake not doing the Bayern Real Madrid game, but I just feel like I want to watch Arsenal more, which is a crazy thing to say, because I actually don't really enjoy watching Arsenal play like that often, and that's not even like, it's not even me hating as well. Like, they just don't play the sort of football I want to watch be played. But, you know, especially in the sort of run of form they've been in over the last 2 games, how important their end to the season is. I think it is important that to watch Arsenal and see how they fare. I got huge eyes on Odegaard today though, because I've never ever been overly sold on Odegaard, right? You know, I've had a lot said to me about a lot of different people about how good Odegaard is, and I disrespect Odegaard, and I just don't see it with Odegaard. I just don't know football, but you know, they're right. I just don't see it with Odegaard. I just don't think he's that good, but this is his chance to prove me wrong. Right now, away in the first leg of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. This is your chance. This is your chance. What do you have for me, Martin Odegaard? What do you have for me? Arsenal about to get us underway. Declan Rice on the kickoff for Arsenal. And there we go. We're on the way here in Lisbon. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0, of course. What has Mikel Arteta got for his doubters? What does he have for his doubters to silence them? Because I'm very much sure he will. But it'll be interesting if he doesn't. It'll be very, very interesting if he doesn't. It'll be interesting to see how the narrative plays out if Mikel Arteta fails to win here today. Again, I don't think he will fail to win. I really do not think Mikel Arteta will fail to win today. But it'll be very, very interesting what the narrative is around Arsenal and Arteta if he goes winless in 3 games in the last 3 in all competitions, right? Be very, very interesting. And it'll also be very interesting to see how they sort of attack this game. You know, are they going to want to try blitz Sporting? Despite the fact that they're Sporting have the home advantage, are they going to want to get this game over and done with quickly, so they don't really have to worry about the second leg and they can focus on the league? It's going to be very interesting to see their approach. Odegaard in nicely there to win the ball. Now it's Rice. Gyökeres gets his former club. Now it's Leandro Trossard even, not Lissandro. I've went mad. I went crazy there, mixing them up with Lisandro Martinez. I do apologise, Trossard. That is one of the worst insults that can be levied upon you. Again, as well, Zubamendi's not a player that I've 100% been sold on, especially in the sort of back end of this season. So they're 2 players that, you know, they have doubters in me. Odegaard and Zubamendi, they have a doubter in me, and I'm going to be watching their performance closely. 100% going to be watching their performance closely and sort of seeing if I'm going to be furthering my agenda or not. See if I will be furthering my agenda tonight or not. That's a foul by Saliba on the halfway line, Sporting free kick. But yeah, I think they're like the only 2. Obviously, there's the no-brainers. Like I don't think like Trossard's a great football player. I think he's a very good squad player, and you know he does pop up with key goals here and then. I don't think Madueke is great either. I don't think Martinelli is great either. But I don't think they're like controversial opinions to have. But there are players like Odegaard and Zubamendi, which some people swear by that they're at their world-class talent, but for me, I just don't see it. I mean, there's those players in every team though. Like there's people that think Kovacic is very important to Manchester City, and again, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So for me, Arsenal is Zubamendi and Odegaard. I think even if you look across like some of the other teams in the Premier League, it's like some people will sit and tell me that Dalot is quality for Man United. I don't think Dalot's very good. But then again, I do know quite a few people that don't think Dalot's good that are United fans. But some people will swear to me that he is good. Like big up Touchline Facts. He tried to tell me that Dalot is a good right back, and I don't know if he was rage baiting me, Because if you know Touchline, he loves his rage bait. But yeah, no. Again, Dallo, not someone I think that's really my cup of tea in a footballing regard. I think who else there is in the sort of in the top teams. I mean, Enzo Fernandez as well at Chelsea. Not hugely sold on Enzo. Obviously, there's players like Garnacho as well, but I think we're all on the same page now about Garnacho. I don't think there's anyone kidding themselves about how good Alejandro Garnacho really is. But you know, there's always those players, and you know, in chat, I'm interested for you guys to drop which players are across the Premier League or even world football as a whole. Everybody else seems to rate, but you just don't see the hype. Here's Odegaard though. He goes back to Saliba. Again, Arsenal being very patient. And Sporting, I was gonna say they almost about to say that they've adapted the sort of Pep style of pressing against Arsenal, but they're pressing in a 3 and not a 4, which leaves a few more gaps open for progressive passes into the midfield, which Saliba and Gabriel are seeming to find with ease, picking out Zubimendi, Rice and Odegaard. No, yeah, it's not working when when they're in the shape of a 3 and not a 4. But you know, we're 5 minutes in now, and we haven't seen either team really go forward. I think Arsenal are they're struggling to get some concrete build up here. The centre backs are struggling to get out a little bit. We've got Odegaard dropping deep to the edge of the box to pick up the ball from Raya. He's hopefully trying to drive his team forward, obviously being the captain. Himself, he's pushing Saliba forward. He's got Zubimendi ahead of him. He's telling him to clear off, get up the pitch. Now it's Gabriel. Even Calafiori's dropping a bit deeper to pick up the ball, but now it's Odegaard. He skips inside one. He then gives the ball away cheaply inside to Suarez. Now here comes Sporting. And that's good defensive work there by Declan Rice to retrieve the ball and clear out upfield. It is taken off of Gyökeres's toes there, and Sporting do have the ball back again. So, you know, Arsenal don't look overly comfortable in these first 5 minutes. Obviously, again, long way to go in this game, but they don't look overly comfortable on the ball and sort of assured of themselves in build-up as you probably expect them to come into this game. But then again, you know, two poor results on the bounce. You know, nerves are obviously sort of bound to kick in. Again, I obviously think they're going to overcome them today. That is an outrageous pass in behind, and now here's Sporting. Oh, and it's off the inside of the bar. That would have been the assist to the round already if that had found the back of the net. That is an outrageous pass. And Araujo can't believe that he's not put that in the back of the net. That is that pass, that Trivela pass is outrageous. Oh, yes. Should he do better? No. White puts him off balance. Raya gets a touch on it. Nah, it's now that I see that Raya's got a touch on it, I'm going to be less harsh on him. But the pass, oh my word. Sporting do have a free kick on the edge of the Arsenal box now, around 7 minutes into this game. And Sporting again just had the first big chance of the match. What chance it was as well. I still can't get over that Trivela pass. That was absolutely superb. I think that was from Diamonde at the back as well, the centre back. Free kick for Sporting. A walk consisting of Gyökeres, White, Gabriel, Rice and Calafiori. Free kick taken. Straight into the wall. Another pot shot taken. And it's over the bar again from Araujo. And it's going to be a goal kick this time for Arsenal. I think that's a poor free kick. Very, very poor free kick. And yeah, that shot's always rising. And then it dips as soon as it gets past. Literally as soon as it gets behind the crossbar, it starts dipping, which is, you know, unfortunate. You know, promising signs there from Sporting. Promising signs. But I think Arsenal now, they've had the warning. And they've been let off, and I think now is where they're going to sort of come into their own and sort of take this game by the scruff of the neck and not let it get too far away from. What a pass that is from Rice into Odegaard, and he goes outside to Noni Madueke, who is dispossessed by Araujo, but Odegaard pounces on it. Madueke is offside. Free kick. And that's again a beautiful pass there from Rice into Odegaard as well. And again, exactly what I said. Like, you get that bit more urgency now. Yeah, they're showing another angle of that Diamonde pass, and that is having your centre back play a pass like that is outrageous. But yeah, no, the Rice pass into Odegaard as well. Like, it was just that sort of risk-taking factor that I thought would come into Arsenal's game after conceding that chance, and literally as I was saying it, Rice plays that ball again. A good touch by Odegaard, gets it out to Noni, and unfortunately he gets dispossessed. But Rice has it now with Calafiori. And I just think now is Sporting decide to commit more men to the press. Raya goes long in search of Madueke, but he can't bring it down. The ball comes forward from Sporting again. There's a good few touches there from Suarez. And now Sporting come forward down their right hand side. They make their way into the Arsenal box. Ball comes across, but it's straight into Raya's hands, and he looks to distribute quickly, and he does to the captain Odegaard. He's got Trossard, Gyökeres and Madueke ahead of him, but he decides to cut back and go to Rice. Rice still looking to go forward, distributes wide to White. He finds Noni Madueke to feet, and then he goes back to Ben White. Now it's Odegaard. Rice, Odegaard again. Saliba. I'm going to quickly check the score in the Real Madrid game. That's a beautiful ball in behind to Madueke. The touch isn't great, but he still keeps hold of it. Then he spears it into the box for Gyökeres, who turns, and Araujo just about gets away with the ball for Sporting. And it's still 0-0 at the Bernabeu as well. 0-0 in both games here. I mean, there's a good chance there for Arsenal, I think. I think Madueke does well to recover from a subpar touch. Gyökeres, I think, does the right thing to hold it up, but he just can't shift the ball across to get the shot off in time before getting swarmed by Sporting defenders, and it's just a tad bit unfortunate from him, because I think he, again, like I said, I think he did the right thing. But it's Odegaard again. Now it's White. He's got Madueke outside of him. Goes to run at Araujo, beats him on the inside, then crosses it in. It's headed away by Diamonde, but it finds itself back with Gabriel. Now it's Trossard. Gabriel again. Rice. Odegaard. Madueke. He goes inside one, inside two. Now out to Gabriel. He's got Trossard ahead of him. Finds Trossard. Then it goes back to Rice. Rice inside to Zubimendi. And then White. And then, yeah, there's not much space opening up on the edge of the Sporting box here for Arsenal, so they have to keep passing side to side, waiting for a lapse in concentration. And can Odegaard find it? He does go out wide to Madueke, who again is beaten in his duel by Araujo, but it's been deemed as a foul by the linesman. It's going to be a free kick from a crossing position here for Arsenal. What can they make of this? Their first set piece in a dangerous position. How will they approach this one? Well, you know how they're going to approach it, but how are they going to execute it is more the question. It's going to be Rice over to take it. Oh, it's Odegaard. Odegaard getting ready to cross it in from the right hand side for Arsenal. Still Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Gyökeres waiting in the box. Martin Odegaard, Arsenal captain, on the free kick. He crosses it in! And it bounces out and away for a corner, I do believe. Or it goes out for a corner. The cross comes in. And then I can't tell if the keeper Silva gets a hand to that. Or is it Diamonde that heads it out? And I'm not really too sure. It looks like it was Diamonde that got there first before any of the Arsenal players had chance to poke that one in and put it out for the corner. But it's a corner nonetheless to be taken by Madueke, back again out on the right hand side. Can Ben White recreate the magic that was his first goal for England after returning to the setup in a friendly against Uruguay, after obviously then unfortunately going and giving away the penalty, which gave Valverde the chance to level it at 1-1. Which, that was an awful game of football. I actually cannot believe I wasted my time. I was going to make a video on that game, but like, I was actually just annoyed that I wasted my time watching that game of football. Corner in by Madueke. Trossard attacks it. Odegaard drags it wide. I mean, it's a good corner by Madueke, to be fair. He puts it right on top of the keeper, and he can't exactly hit it out because it hits the crossbar, and then Trossard attacks it. Yeah, right on top of the keeper, hits the crossbar. Trossard attacks it. Defender gets there first, falls to Odegaard on the edge of the box, and he just drags it wide. It's a goal kick to Sporting, but you know, Arsenal had a good few chances there. And as much as I was critical of him at the start of the game, saying I've not really been impressed with Odegaard over the last few years, I think he's playing really well in his first 15 minutes. He's always demanding the ball. He's taking responsibility as the playmaker and the captain, demanding the ball, being the one that's always open and available to pick up the pass, even dropping deep, picking up on the edge of his box, always looking up, getting ready to make the pass. And you know, that's what you want to see from your 10, and it was what you want to see from your captain as well. So I can't fault him there for his effort anyway. Let's see what outcome, let's see what end product he comes with in this game as well. Because again, that's one of the big things that I'm always, again, I said this on Judge Moore's stream yesterday. So one of the big things that I'm sort of always praise Bruno Fernandes for, like, it's never a lack of trying with Bruno. Never ever a lack of trying. He's always trying to make something happen, you know, and sometimes when it doesn't happen, it looks like he's playing hero ball and you know, it looks like he's dropped a disaster class, but at least he's trying to make things happen, because again, when it comes off, it's spectacular and he's playing an absolute blinder. And how many times have we seen, like, Bruno just pull off the impossible time and time again when he's on his day? Like, that's what you want to see in a player like that. And that's kind of why I like Shirky as well at City, because he's always demanding the ball. Whether he's having a good game or a bad game, he's never going to hide. He's never ever going to hide. He's always going to demand the ball. Whether he's going to actually make something happen or you know, it's not his day, he'll always be there demanding the ball. And that's what you want from your creative players. You can't have somebody that when they're having a bad game, they shy away, because there's always that one moment of magic you can produce. You could be dropping a 2 out of 10 game. 2 out of 10 game, but you get that one moment that takes your 2 out of 10 game to a 7 and wins your team the game. That's what you've always got to remember. If you're a creative player in football and you're playing that creative role, sort of an attacking role, creative midfielder, out on the wing, whatever, and you're having a poor game, your touch keeps escaping you, you're overhitting all your passes, you know, all of your runs are getting red, you know, don't just go, oh, nothing's going my way, I'm just going to hide away from the ball and let everybody else do their thing, because if I get the ball, nothing's going to happen. Then you are guaranteeing that nothing's going to happen in it. But like, you know, 90 minutes is a long time. Like, you're not bound to get everything wrong in that game. And that one thing you get right could lead to a goal. And that's always been my mindset on it in an attacking sense. Like, you can just never shy away, because if you're shying away, that's when you're more prone to make mistakes. Because if you're trying to keep it simple and scared of making a mistake, you're putting more pressure on you and you're gonna make a mistake. Like, you're more likely to make a costly mistake playing it safe than you are doing the borderline impossible. Do you know what I mean? But you know, that's just my basic analysis on the game. You know, it's nothing overly groundbreaking. Odegaard again though, dropping a tad deeper to pick up the ball in space, getting it on the turn and just driving forward. And I think, again, it's something that Arsenal have missed at times this season, I think. And it's kind of why I think Gyökeres hasn't been as good as he probably should have been this season. That's a very, very poor pass from Saliba, but luckily Trossard was there to bail him out, because that was a creep. What was he thinking? That's Gabriel. Again, quick score check in Madrid. Still 0-0 over there. Saliba now. Odegaard. Gyökeres. Saliba. Madueke. Excuse me, man. I'm actually tired. I was at work all day and I was just like, might as well. I was so close to not streaming. I was like, nah, I told myself this morning. I woke up this morning, I was like, I'm going to stream. I'm going to do a watch along for one of the games. Obviously ended up being the Arsenal game. Then I got home and I'm like, oh, I'm actually tired. But, you know, you can't quit on the commitments, man. I already told myself I was going to do it, so I did it. Like, but Gyökeres now. Coming deep and to pick up the ball. Then finds Madueke out wide, who this time holds off Araujo. Never mind, he's been fouled again by the fullback. Free kick again to Arsenal on the right hand side. I don't feel like it's going to be a game where Arsenal force it down the right hand side, because again, Madueke is a lot more expressive on the ball than Trossard. Trossard's someone that's efficient. He's someone that's efficient in front of goal. Like, you don't really look for Trossard for his sort of dribbling ability and sort of his directness running at defenders. You look at him for his sort of poacher-like instinct and his ball striking ability. Whereas Madueke is just raw talent, really. And again, someone that I'm highly critical of, because I think he overplays it a lot of the time. And one of my main criticisms for Noni is that he like, I feel like he only passes when he really has to, and will try dribble that ball for as long as possible. Crossing by Odegaard, and which, don't get me wrong, can produce moments of magic, but sometimes I feel like he just needs to keep it simple. And yeah, but that's one of my main criticisms for wingers. I feel like some wingers, like, their feet move faster than their brain. I think I look at players like Savinho, like Madueke. Who else is in that category as well? There's those two. I was gonna say Dan James, but Dan James is just quick, and that's it. I don't know. There are a few other wingers out there. I think Garnacho, again, one of them. Pedro Neto is the prime example of, I think, of a winger that's feet move way faster than his brain. You know. But, you know, don't get me wrong. At times it can be good. You know, just having that pure pace outlet on the wing, but it can be frustrating to watch them run into a dead end time and time again. Like I see Savinho do quite often. And you guys that are around for the City watch-alongs know how much that one frustrates me. Saliba though. He goes across to Rice. Now Zubimendi. He hooks one forward to Trossard, but it's dealt with. And Sporting are able to put it out for a throw-in off of Trossard. Oh, nice. My charger just fell apart. My phone charger just fell apart. See that? Yeah. Do you know what's mad as well? This isn't even my phone charger. It's my Xbox controller charger. I've just been using it because I forgot that my phone charger is in my work bag, and now this is stuck in there. Sporting are on the attack though. Dealt with well by Ben White, and then he is fouled by Araujo again for his third foul of the night already. Where's that gone? So I can throw that away, because I don't even know how that snapped. Oh yeah, that's not good. That's a dark day. Oh, R.I.P. charger, R.I.P. Yeah, that's dark. I'll deal with that later. Phone's on decent amount of charge anyway. I can swap that out. I can swap that out at some point. Raya on the ball. Distributes to Rice. Now Gabriel. And then throw into Arsenal. Gabriel hits his long ball forward off of Trincao, and it goes out for a Arsenal throw. 22 minutes into this game. I think still believe that Sporting had the best chance of this game for Araujo. Obviously, second best chance is probably that Odegaard shot at the edge of the box from the corner. But other than that, I think it's a game that, I don't want to say scrappy because I don't think it's been scrappy, but I think both teams are just a bit too careless in possession in the midfield. That's excellent from Noni. Coming inside then to Odegaard. Still Odegaard. He's dispossessed by Trincao. Then he goes forward to Suarez. Back to Trincao. Suarez is running in the left-hand channel even. Trincao again. And Sporting just enjoying a spell of possession here after sort of allowing Arsenal to see a lot more of the ball in the last 10 or so minutes. Just knocking it around the back, not too overly fussed about going forward. Just, that's a very, very poor pass out, and Madueke capitalises on it. And then he's once again brought down by Araujo for a free kick. I think that's got to be 4 fouls for him now, surely. Let's have a little look. Surely that's his fourth foul. Let's have a little look. Okay, it just doesn't want to work. It doesn't want to load. Match stats, player stats, fouls. Where's fouls? No, he's committed 3 fouls. I could have swore that was the 4th one, unless it's not updated. But I could have swore he's committed 4. Was that not given as a foul? Was that a goal kick? Sorry, my bad. I thought he gave that as a foul. That shows how much I was paying attention. Araujo on the ball now, though. He goes to switch it. Does just about. Again, still a lot of Sporting possession here. They're not making too much of it. They're not making too much of this spell in possession, but I think it's, again, just to get control in the game. Get everybody a couple of touches on the ball, get them feeling comfortable, composed on the ball, and then you can start to build. And then you can start to build. Draw Arsenal out of position, frustrate them. Like, you know, you're the home team at the end of the day. Like, they've got to come here and do a job. Especially, like I said, like they could sit here on the draw and get the job done at the Emirates, but that means, again, they're going to have to focus on another game in a run-in that could be crucial in the league, potentially. So you'd think Arteta just wants to come here and get it done and be able to rest the players in the return leg. David Raya hits it long. And it goes all the way through to Silva at the other end. Excellent running behind by Araujo, who's been spotted once again. Oh, that's poor. That's poor. That is so poor. First time cross into the middle, and he's completely missed it. But again, the centre back, the captain, Inacio, finds him in behind the same way Diamonde did. Within the first 5 minutes, same sort of run that he's making from fullback. I feel like he should just do better with the cross or the shot. I don't really know, because of where the ball's ended up, he looks like he's shot, but from the position he was in, I can imagine it was a cross. But he has just blocked Madueke's cross and put it out for an Arsenal corner now at the other end. So he's tried to cross it, and it's just fell off of his foot. Like, it's just hit his foot all wrong. Corner to Arsenal though. Again taken by Madueke on the right. And again, nothing comes from it. I think Arsenal's corners have been, other than that one from Madueke where he's hit the crossbar, I think Arsenal's corners have been quite poor. Again, Suarez is getting there first before Ben White. Like, and you know, I'm an again, watching City every week, I'm an expert in poor corners. Huge, like, you know, I'm the biggest expert when it comes to watching poor corners, right? I'll watch like at least 5 of them every week. Surely that's a foul by Saliba. No. The ref deems that Suarez went down too easily. It sees his way all the way through to Raya. Zubimendi. Rice. Trossard. Zubimendi. Cross to Gabriel. Then he goes back out to Declan Rice. He's got Calafiori ahead of him. Trossard on the inside. He goes again back to Gabriel. 15 minutes of this first half still to play. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Again, you've got Madueke hugging the touchline here, while Trossard has come all the way on the inside and letting sort of Calafiori have free roam of that left-hand side, which is kind of what you'd expect, because again, Trossard's a lot better sort of from the centre of the pitch and in and around the edge of the box than he is really coming off of the flank. Calafiori now, right-hand side of the box, gets across it and crossing it over to the left-hand flank, where of course there's going to be nobody, because both Trossard and Calafiori himself are on the right-hand side of the pitch. But now it is Trossard, Saliba, Ben White, and Madueke. Inside to Trossard again. Quickly dispossessed. And never mind, a foul's been given. Foul's been given, free kick to Arsenal. I do want to see a replay though. I am intrigued to see the replay of this foul. Morito's first player to go into the book for Sporting. It is not Araujo as I predicted. It's clumsy. I think it's late. It's a tad bit late. Wait. Whoa, he's won the ball. Never mind. At first, the first angle they showed, it looked like Trossard hit the ball away and then he came in with a tackle. But no, never mind. He's completely won the ball and then sort of the follow through caught Trossard. I don't think the follow through was that bad to even warrant a free kick. But hey ho. Free kick though for Arsenal. Taken by Declan Rice. He swings it in. Headed straight out by Inacio. And out for a throw in on the left hand side to Arsenal. Calafiori. Throw in. Gabriel. And then it's deemed offside. Free kick to Sporting either way. And Suarez has picked up a yellow card now for Sporting. I'm not too sure what that one was for. That's poor. Throw into Arsenal. Again, I think this is a game where Arsenal have definitely sort of been the better team and had more control in the game. But I do think, again, Sporting have had the better chances. But they just didn't take them, and that's why the game's still 0-0. And I think those, you know, as cliche as it is to say, those chances could definitely come back to haunt Sporting, because I do think Arsenal, like, they're building a bit of momentum here on the edge of the Sporting box, and as I say, that Trossard gives the ball away. But again, they're straight relentless with the press. As soon as they lose the ball, the Sporting player has nowhere to pass the ball, nowhere to release the ball. He's completely surrounded, and Arsenal win it back. And now it's Saliba, Rice. Odegaard screaming for it in so much space, and he does eventually receive it from Saliba. He's hurried on the ball, but eventually gets it out to Madueke, who goes inside to White, who then launches one over the top for Madueke, and it sees itself all the way through to Silva, the Sporting goalkeeper. Again, this is kind of like, again, what Arsenal are doing here when they lose the ball is what I was shocked to not see in the Carabao Cup final. I felt like, because it was more City doing it, right? You know, I've always known this season Arsenal are the second ball demons. Like, they will hunt after like every second ball like rabid dogs, right? But City were winning every second ball, every clearance. It was falling straight back to a City player time and time again, and that's what I think shocked me the most about Arsenal's performance in the Carabao Cup final, was the fact that there was no hunger in trying to retrieve any of the second balls. Zubimendi now, though, as we approach the last 10 minutes of the first half, he plays one through to Calafiori. Diamonde rushes out there and ushers the ball out for a goal kick. Oh man, my neck's actually so sore. Inacio with the pass out from the back, which I can only describe as potentially one of the worst. He's just played it into Declan Rice that had like at least 7-8 yards of just free space all around him to retrieve the ball. Like, it was like the way he plays that ball is like he was trying to pick out Rice with that pass. That is disgraceful. And that's the second time he's done that now, which shows that he's not completely composed at the back, which is an issue when that's your club captain. Like, so he's looking to be the weak point at the moment in the Sporting defence, if I'm going to be totally honest. He's on the ball now. This time finds his target with the ball, and Sporting could switch up the sides here. And then they are dispossessed by Trossard, but he can't keep it in play, and it goes out for a Sporting throw-in. Again, I do feel like Sporting are slightly cracking under the press that Arsenal are putting them under. Every time they take a touch, their second touch, they take a touch, and then they see an Arsenal player sort of closing in on them to come and win the ball, and the second touch is rushed and panicked every time. But Sporting come forward again now, down their right-hand side. Arsenal have got everyone mostly back behind the ball, except now they have every single player behind the ball. Araujo. Diomande. Yeah, Sporting were coming forward. I think it was Suarez carrying the ball forward. Arsenal hadn't fully set their defensive line. They take one too many touches on the ball, and then Arsenal have absolutely everyone behind the ball, and Sporting have nowhere to go but backwards. Raya's hurried there under the press of Trincao and has to put the ball out for a throw-in. But yeah, it's just, again, this is the issue with teams playing against Arsenal. Like, they run forward, and it'll usually be a single, one or two players running forward. They have to turn back to wait for options, and as soon as the options arrive, Arsenal have everyone behind the ball, and you have to go backwards. You have to. And that's what makes them so good defensively. Everyone's willing to get behind the ball and do the hard yards to get up and down the field. That's a good ball out wide to Shrink out. Cuts inside Calafiori and keeps going. It's gone calves. And then they hurried all the way back to the halfway line. But let's still go in here. That's a good ball in behind Rice. Shrink out. Diomande. Is he going to shoot from range? He does, and it's always rising. Typical centre-back shot. Typical centre-back frustration shot that is right there. It's 1-0 Bayern. Who scored? My guess is Kane. Oh, it was Luis Diaz. Interesting to see Bayern go 1-0 up. Interesting to see Bayern go 1-0 up, if I'm honest. And yeah, this is Raya being hurried again. I mean, Odegaard tries to switch it across to Gabriel. Wait, sorry. My bad, I got distracted. Yeah, no, I got distracted there, sorry. It's Madueke. Too many things were happening on my screen, and I kind of like, I went to say two different things, and then I kind of like joined like both of those sentences together because, yeah, no, you could tell it's been a long day. But it's, you know, goal for Diaz. You know, Real Madrid going behind at home. Interesting. Tell you what, Bayern would absolutely run riot against City right now, I think. Araujo, gone cards. He's lifted that one nicely out wide, and that's a good touch as well to trap it. No, here comes Sporting, and it's a good block there by Calafiori. Now Rice can go the other way, but instead goes back to Calafiori, who passes it across to Gabriel and then hucks it out in hopes of reaching Trossard. And it does not. The Belgian cannot win the aerial duel. Now Sporting come forward again. They're starting to take a few more risks now. Starting to look a bit more composed on the ball going forward, Sporting. As we close out this first half. So Arsenal probably is going to look to hold on for these last five or so minutes to get into half time. Unless Sporting end up surrendering possession in a very, very stupid way. I mean, Inacio has been rushed there by Madueke and Odegaard and been forced to play it all the way back to Silva, the goalkeeper. So Sporting have to restart their attack again. Again, I don't think Arsenal have looked good going forward, but I'm never especially this season, I'm not overly impressed with Arsenal when they go forward. It is, again, just how quickly they regroup and get back into their defensive shape and structure, which is so impressive. I mean, like I keep saying, every time Sporting come forward, the player will be running, looks up for options, has to wait a split second for any of his options to arrive. As soon as he does that, as soon as he takes that second, bam, Arsenal back in shape. And it is what makes them so dangerous. It's not their attacking players, because again, like I've said multiple times, Arsenal's attack this season has just been purple patches. You know, one player will come into form at the right time while everyone else is off it, and then as soon as that player goes out of form, another player will come into form. Here's Odegaard though. He's about to score. No, never mind. It's tame shot straight at Silva. But yeah, you know, their attack isn't that great, and I definitely do believe that there are players like Madueke, Martinelli, Trossard and Jesus that probably shouldn't be at Arsenal next season. I think Gyökeres and Saka obviously can perform better than they are at the moment, whereas the others, I think it's more of an ability issue than a form issue, whereas Saka and Gyökeres, I think, have just been in poor form this season compared to their standards, where Martinelli, Trossard, Jesus, etc., I just don't think they can have much else that they can offer this team going forward. That is a beautiful ball forward. It's a good block by Calafiori, but he couldn't get to his feet quick enough. And Sporting still have the ball, but again, Arsenal straight back into shape. Everybody basically behind the ball other than Gyökeres, who's in line with the ball. Gyökeres is now behind the ball. So again, straight back into this defensive shape, which again makes it very, very difficult to break down. But you can't call it a low block because in a low block, the teams don't press as well as Arsenal do, and I think that's what makes it so different. Like, because you're usually when you're playing against a team, they're either going to press you high, right, and if you beat the press, you're through, right. But Arsenal do a hybrid of sort of playing a low block, but also pressing you high. But because they're so well drilled in it, if you beat the press, there's still like 4 or 5 men stood still in their position that you've got to beat, and it's what makes it so difficult. And it's why if you're going to score against Arsenal, you're scoring from the wide areas. That's just how it happens. You have to attack with width against Arsenal if you're going to score. Or you've got to hit them on the counter. You've got to hit them with a perfectly executed move in transition, like Haaland did at the Emirates, right? But other than that, you've got to be attacking them wide. You've got to be pumping balls into the box and again waiting for a lapse in concentration. Because they will come. These Arsenal players are very good and they're very well drilled, but they are human at the same time. Here's Declan Rice. He goes inside to Trossard. Trossard lines one up to shoot and it's blocked. And then it's cleared away by Goncalves. And it's Ryder's going to get on the end of it to pump it forward. Never mind. Is that going to dribble out? No, it's not. It's going to be retrieved by Rice. Never mind. I thought that was... And the ref blows for half-time. Bang on the 45th minute. So there we are. Half-time in Lisbon. Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. My bet's still on for Trossard to open the scoring. Obviously, it's 1-0 in Madrid. Bayern 1. Obviously, Real Madrid 0. And again, I think, like I've said, Arsenal have been the better team. They've been better in possession. I think they've been better out of possession. I just think Sporting have had the better chance, being the Araujo chance in the opening 5 minutes. Other than that, I don't think either team have really troubled the other team's goal. And again, I just see Arsenal playing this out as a 1-0 win. Trossard scoring, 1-0 win. But, what do I know? What do I know? What do I know? What's Twitter telling me? What's the Twitter response to this game? What is the Arsenal Twitter response to this game? Because I can imagine all the other neutrals are going to be watching the Real Madrid game. Never mind, I literally cannot see any football in discourse on the timeline. What is going on? Well, discourse on this game, should I say. The rest is all about Real Madrid. I mean, yeah, I'm seeing a few Arsenal fans say they look lost in possession, which I would say is true. Again, there was a few occasions sort of in the opening 5 minutes where Gabriel, Saliba weren't knowing where they needed to pass. They had Zubamendi dropping deep. They've had Odegaard dropping deep to just get a touch on the ball, and then that was again being knocked back to the centre backs. When they get on the edge of the box, it's to kind of just get the ball out to Madueke on the right. Hopefully he can beat Araujo and then sort of get a ball into the box. And other than that, like, I'm just not seeing any other, like, it just seems like they've got one game plan in mind, which is feed the ball to Madueke, let him cook. And they're not really trying to create chances from anywhere else. You know, you're not seeing balls sort of in the middle to Gyökeres. You know, you've had a few shots from distance, obviously like that one from Trossard there that was blocked. But other than that, it is just feed the ball to Madueke and hope he beats his man and hope he gets the ball into the box. And as of right now, it hasn't worked. Obviously, again, the best chance came for Arsenal came from the Madueke corner that was came back off the crossbar and hit out just wide by Martin Odegaard. But yeah, other than that, they haven't created any good chances, and I wouldn't say they've created any good chances from open play either. So it'll be an interesting second half. It's going to be interesting to see if Arteta changes anything, because if I remember correctly, they don't have the best bench available. I'll go and have a look, but I don't believe they've got the best bench available. Yeah, they've got Lewis Skelly, Dauman, Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, and I was about to say the rest are youngsters, but I did name Dauman as well, which is he's probably the youngest of the lot. But yeah, you know, it's a bunch of inexperienced players, and the ones that do have experience aren't exactly the best attacking names out there. So I do believe that if push comes to shove, it will be Jesus and Madueke that come on first. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I am kind of wishing I was watching the Real Madrid game now that I think about it, but I've made my decision. I'm going to stick with it. We're going to see this game out, and hopefully either Sporting win or Arsenal win and it's Trossard that scores first, so I at least get some money out of this. But you know, big games tomorrow though. Big games tomorrow. PSG Liverpool, Barca Atletico. I think PSG absolutely demolished Liverpool there. The Parc des Paris. That's going to be a dark night for football. That's going to be a dark night for English football. That Liverpool PSG game. I think obviously Barca already beat Atletico this season. Closing in on La Liga for the second year in a row. Can they make the semi-finals again for the second year in a row? And you know, Hansi Flick sort of right his wrongs in the Champions League. Never know, man. You never know. You never know. It's going to be an interesting game. Let me know, guys. What game are you watching tomorrow? What game are you watching tomorrow? Are you watching Liverpool PSG or Barcelona Atletico? Which one? Which one's caught your fancy there? I am kind of disappointed I didn't get to watch Arsenal play against Bodo Glimt. I would love to see how they fared away to Bodo, because it's as we know, not a fun place to go. I'm actually going to look at the Diaz. Well, I've got the time here. I'm going to quickly get up on my other monitor. I'm going to look at this Diaz goal. Quickly look at this Diaz goal. That's a good pass from Gnabry. I mean, let's watch this again. Trent's got absolutely no idea where Diaz is. It's a good finish. It's a good play from Gnabry. Good 1-2 with Kane. Very tidy 1-2 with Kane. Very good pass through to Diaz. But Trent's got does not have a Scooby where Diaz is. Absolutely zero idea where he is. And that's just Trent's defending in a nutshell, isn't it? It's not been a good year for him, but I also can't imagine it would have been a good year. For him if he stayed at Liverpool. So I guess it's like, it would have been like, it would have been bad either way for him. They're showing the Odegaard free kick again, and I just feel like the in swing. Yeah, no. Obviously, Gabriel completely misses it, and it's about to. I think it does actually is headed by Gyökeres, but it's Diamonde that gets himself in front of it. Again, this is the Madueke corner where he hits the crossbar and Gyökeres, not Gyökeres, Trossard and Pedro Goncalves both missed the ball, and it falls to Odegaard, who's under pressure, sort of snaps the shot wide of the target, and again, I think that's been Arsenal's best chance by far this game. Yeah, but again, I don't think they've done much. I don't think they've created many chances. But again, the thing with Arsenal as well is, as long as they create that one chance that they score from, you don't really see them conceding. So as long as they just convert one of these chances, I mean, they should see a comfortable 1-0 win. And if they do that, hopefully it's Trossard that gets the goal, like I've said. I mean, last time we were live, my bet came in with Konate getting booked. So hopefully, hopefully it can happen again. Hopefully it can happen again. Diamonde pass to Araujo is an absolute joke. Absolute joke of a pass. I'd love to see Ruben Diaz attempt that one, I can't lie. Vardio's definitely got that in his locker. I could see Vardio hitting that one out. If I'm honest, I could see Vardio hitting that one out. My phone just literally fell flat. I had it propped up so I could see the Bayern score as well, but it's literally just fell flat on his face. Just toppled over. Go on, big second half for Sporting. Make my evening worthwhile, please. Make my evening worthwhile. But mate, these half times that I'm streaming actually feel like they're going forever. Obviously, it's the same blooming 15 minutes as it is every time, but these feel like they're going for absolute years. And again, there have been a few times when back before I hooked the Virgin box up. Sky Go used to like put me in delay for no reason, and I'd be watching half time when the game kicked off. I do. I am now starting to think I've made the mistake watching this game. I thought I was going to be cool and edgy and watch the Arsenal game where everyone was going to be watching Bayern, but I think I've made a poor choice. I think I know what game I'm going to be watching in the reverse fixtures. I think I know which game I will definitely be watching. Because this has not been enjoyable. Not been enjoyable in the slightest. Bro, does halftime just want to end already, please? I feel like this has already been longer than 15 minutes. Why is Streamlabs giving me a bunch of pop-ups? I feel like this has definitely been longer than 15 minutes. Like, Amazon, who are you kidding? I just want to see the football. This is killing me. This wait is killing me. I just want to watch Arteta ball. Right, Arteta ball is about to return. Arteta ball is about to return to my screen, ladies and gentlemen. We're so back. We're so back. We've never been this back before. I'm about to watch Arteta ball on my TV screen. Arteta ball is back on my TV screen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy. So happy. Arteta ball is back. This is what I live for. I live for Arteta ball. I live for Arteta ball. If Arteta ball has no fans left, that means I am dead, ladies and gentlemen. I live for Arteta ball. I live for Arteta ball. Eat, sleep, Arteta ball and repeat. Eat, sleep, Arteta ball and repeat, ladies and gentlemen. That is the motto. I love Arteta ball. I love Arteta ball. I'm tweeting that out. I'm making that my pinned tweet. I absolutely love it. There is nothing I love more. There is nothing that brings me more pleasure on this earth, ladies and gentlemen, than Mikel Arteta's brand of football. I love it so much. I love it. There is nothing on this earth. Nothing at all on this earth I love more than Arteta ball. And if you do not agree that there is nothing better on this earth than Arteta ball, you are simply a hater and you are wrong. You are simply a hater and you are wrong if you think Arteta ball isn't the be all and end all of life. It's what I live for. It's what I wake up in the morning for. It's why I put in the hard graft hours at my job, at my day job. I work those hard long hours at my day job just to come home and stream for you guys. Because Arteta ball just gets me through the day. It motivates me. Because I know that if I work hard at my job and then work hard on these streams, I get to relax and watch Arteta ball on the weekend. And I love it. I love it so much. So much. As a great bold man once said, more than you believe. More than you believe, I love Arteta ball. More than you believe. And Suarez is about to get us underway for the second half. Another 45 minutes of Arteta ball. Thank you. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you guys supporting the channel, I would not get to sit here on this lovely Tuesday evening watching Mikel Arteta's brand of football. Big up what we said. We missed a great opportunity of beating this Madrid side. Said they're so bad. Bayern are battering them. Yeah, but would you rather beat Madrid and have the moral... Sorry, we are back underway here at the... here in Lisbon. Would you rather have the moral victory over Madrid and say that we beat Madrid and then have to go and get thumped by this Bayern side? Like, I guess it's more embarrassing to say we lost to Madrid and got absolutely embarrassed by Madrid. But at the same time, I don't know if I would have wanted to watch Vincent Kompany do horrible, horrible things to my football team. So it's a losing to Madrid is a blessing and a curse, because at least I don't have to watch us get dismantled by Bayern. It's how I imagine our Liverpool fans when they beat Galatasaray in the second leg. Big up for the subscription though, Vasco. Big up for the subscription. What was I saying? I've just lost my train of thought. It's kind of, I guess, how Liverpool fans felt when they beat Galatasaray in the second leg. They're like, yes, we've progressed to the quarterfinals of the Champions League, and then realised they had to play against Paris Saint-Germain. Yeah, it makes sense. We'd probably get battered by Bayern. They're the best team in the world. I think so as well. I think it's a toss-up between them and PSG. You know, I know Arsenal beat both of them in the last 2 years, but I think, I think, you know, Bayern and PSG, when it matters in the Champions League, will do stuff to you that should not be televised. And you saw that in the last round. Like what Bayern did to Atlanta was bad, but what PSG did to Chelsea was downright disgraceful. Well, it was actually disgraceful. And there is only one man, actually. I actually need to retract a statement I just made, because there is only one man that could face Enrique's PSG and Kompany's Bayern Munich and have no fear of it being a whitewash, have no fear of it being a humiliation. And that is my GOAT, Mikel Arteta. Because this brand of football he is playing in front of my very eyes right now, I have never ever seen anything like it. He is revolutionising football right in front of my very eyes. And people that hate on this brand of football are just not intelligent enough to realise the magic he is working on this football pitch. Mikel Arteta, I love you. Your brand of football has saved football. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you ever so much. That being said, watching Trossard in the Big 26 is crazy work. Like, the fact I'm watching Trossard play football in the Big 20... Why is my Mac just locked itself? The fact I'm watching Trossard play in the Big 26 is crazy work. Is crazy work. I cannot believe I'm watching Trossard play football right now. Like, the fact... I think... Like I've said earlier in the stream, the fact that they still employ Martinelli and Trossard on the left-hand flank is a disgrace. Is actually disgraceful. I think that's gonna be what pains me the most when Arsenal win the league come May. Is the fact that a team that's left flank options are Trossard and Martinelli are going to be Premier League champions, and it's going to hurt my soul. It's going to hurt my soul. It really is. It really is. Because although I think Trossard's a good finisher, because he's about to score... No, he's not. Never mind. He's dragged his shot wide. Although I think Trossard's a good finisher and he's got good ball striking ability, watching Madueke hurts... Martinelli. Watching Martinelli hurts my brain. Like, watching Martinelli play football really hurts my scalp. And it hurts even more that Martinelli loves to score against City as well. When a player you do not rate highly loves scoring a goal against your club, it is actually soul destroying. It is so soul destroying. Because then you just got to put your hands up and say, wow, shit guy scored against us every single time. And that's me anytime Martinelli scores against us. Every single time. And no one will be able to convince me that Martinelli's good at football. Same with Madueke as well. I don't think Madueke is that great. But he's definitely better than Martinelli. That's a very nice ball in behind, but he just can't get there, and it goes out for an Arsenal goal kick. Like, think about it, yeah? We're living in a world where Brazil could potentially be deploying Savinho and Martinelli on the wings. What a life we live, ladies and gentlemen. What a life we live. Brazil at a World Cup, and you're watching Savinho and Martinelli on the wings. That's something. That's something. That really is something. It really makes you think. It really makes you think about the state of football. Because my word, hideous twins on the wing. It's like Euro 2024 when Southgate, the absolute criminal, was playing Trippier left back and Kyle Walker right back. He was playing two of the most washed fullbacks, two of the most washed right backs at the same time, and it was hilariously bad. But it made people wake up to the Kyle Walker agenda that I was pushing the season prior. So people were looking at me as if I was some sort of visionary. People were looking at me and they were going, Nathan, I'm sorry I doubted you. People were coming up to me after Euro 2024 and coming up to me and be like, you know what? I just thought you were hating Kyle Walker because, you know, you wanted to find a player on your team to hate. But after watching England and watching Kyle Walker for England, Nathan, I'm sorry because you were right. And I said, thank you, but never question my judgment on a football player again, please. Respect me. And that's how I felt. That's how I felt when people finally came and saw the truth about Kyle Walker. It's kind of the same when people come to me and they've seen the truth about Doku as well, because Doku's the king. Doku is the king, and Shirky as well, man. I was saying Shirky was the boy when he was at Lyon, because Shirky was the boy. Shirky still is the boy, soon to be the king, but right now he's still the boy. Free kick to Arsenal to be taken by Odegaard. 52 minutes into this game. Not a single noteworthy thing has happened at the start of the second half. Is Odegaard going to change that one? Is Mikel Arteta's football going to continue to save the footballing world? Arteta, what do you have for me? Arteta, please. Show the masses why they're wrong about your football, Mikel Arteta, please, right now. Odegaard on the free kick. And it's a corner. It's tipped over the bar for a corner. I love this Arteta ball I'm watching right now. I love it. Like the stream if you're also loving this wonderful Arteta ball you're seeing on your screen. People say, oh, Hamzy Flick. Oh, Luis Enrique. Oh, Pep Guardiola. Vincent Kompany playing this great football. And I just think, no. The true goal is Mikel Arteta. Every time. Corner from Madueke. I think it's another corner as well. That one's headed out by Trincao. So another corner to Arsenal. I actually can't believe I'm watching this. I actually can't believe this is how I'm spending my evening. Why am I spending my evening doing this? This is actually appalling. I can't keep watching this. I can't. But corner to Arsenal. Odegaard screaming for the corner corner short, but Madueke whips it in. And it's on Gabriel's head. But it's out by Sporting. And it's forward for them to chase. And Raya comes out and heads it. And it's Suarez that gets there first. And now it's Trincao. Raya's back in his goal. And now Arsenal have everyone back. The chance is over, ladies and gentlemen. The chance is over. Sporting took too long. See, like the thing is, yeah, in all seriousness about Arteta Ball, yeah, if I'm going to actually be real about Arteta Ball, I wouldn't even mind watching Arteta Ball if he just had competent attacking football players. But what makes Arteta Ball so difficult to watch is the lack of competence going forward from his front line. The lack of independence from his front line just really hurts my soul. Because I can admire the defending, the well-drilled defending, for everyone to just hurry back behind the ball hurry back behind the ball after losing the ball before they start their press, right? I can admire that. But what I can't admire is them doing that whilst employing some of the most creatively bankrupt forward players I have seen in my entire existence. Because, like, you're not going to watch Arsenal's opponents' attackers do anything because they're so well drilled defensively, like I've just complimented them on. But then, again, you're not going to watch Arsenal's attackers do anything because they're creatively bankrupt and terrible. So, the way of solving this problem is if Arteta just goes and buys some world-class attackers. Because you notice how, as soon as Saka's form drops, Arsenal are just the worst team to watch. Because they don't have an attacker that's going to bring anything to this game and make you kind of get up off your seat. And that's a shot drag ride, I think, for a goal kick there for Arsenal. Like, just give me someone enjoyable to... I thought Eze was going to be somebody enjoyable to watch. But he only wants to turn up against Spurs. So, best case scenario, Arsenal win the league and they go throw all their money at a maverick attacker that's just going to make the football enjoyable to watch going forward. And if that doesn't happen, then there's no hope. There's no hope. No hope at all. No hope at all. Just please, Mikel, please sign good attackers, please. Then I will stop slandering your brand of football when you sign competent attackers. Zubamendi has just been absolutely pickpocketed by Trincao in the middle of the pitch. Like, that is actually hideous from Zubamendi. And that's happened to him time and time again this season. The thing is, though, I don't even think they've bought the wrong player. I just don't think that he's being used correctly. Nathan, who do you think is winning from what you've watched? I think Arsenal are going to win. Arsenal are going to find a way to win, right? Arsenal will find a way to win. But Sporting have definitely had the better chances and played the better attacking football when they've had the chance. But Arsenal will find a way to win. Don't get it twisted. Just because I think Sporting have looked better going forward, they're not winning this game. Arsenal are winning this game. Pedro Goncalves on the corner. He's whipped it in. He doesn't beat the first man. It's free kick to Arsenal. No, yeah, so... yeah, Arsenal are winning this game, but it's not going to be a pleasant watch. It is going to be one of the most unpleasant watches of this entire life. Odegaard. I'm still saying Trossard opens a score in here. I didn't say it was going to be in the 36th minute, which obviously hasn't happened. But yeah, I still think Trossard gets Arsenal a 1-0 win, and it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be the scrappiest goal you've ever seen, right? But it's going to happen. Saka, I'm so sorry I preyed on your downfall, bro. You were actually the only thing keeping this football enjoyable. Saka, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry. Accept my apology, please. Because this is bad. Odegaard. He plays it up to White, but then flicks it out to Madueke. Now it's Odegaard again. Please, make something happen, please. I don't even care about the hate watch anymore. Someone do something, please. Odegaard, please, from there. Someone. Gabriel, from there, please. Rice, please. Make something happen from nothing, please. Get me off of my seat. Somebody, please, get me off of my seat. I am firmly seated on this seat. I'm not even on the edge of my seat. I am fully leant as far back as possible in this seat right now. That's how unmoved I am by what I'm watching. Madueke, do something now, please. Gyökeres. Never mind, he's chasing his first touch. Rice. Odegaard, from there. Show them why you're the GOAT. Okay, never mind. Never mind. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. Is it still 1-0? Is it still 1-0 to Bayern? Still 1-0 to... Oh, it's 2-0 to Bayern. Harry Kane. No one told me that Kane scored. When was someone going to tell me that Kane scored then? Well, you guys just going to let me go my whole evening without knowing that Kane scored? Nah, you guys are some friends, man. Like, Kane scored a good what? 14 minutes ago? Round about 14 minutes ago, and no one decided to tell me. Nah, that's L chat. L chat. L chat. L chat. Not who's down injured now? Nah, L chat though. L chat. You guys are L chat. No one telling me that Kane scored. Mate, Amazon didn't even tell me that Kane scored. Like, damn. I've made some poor life choices, right? But I think watching this game over that Real Madrid Bayern game is the worst thing I've ever is probably the worst choice I've ever made in my entire life. Odegaard is now injured, allegedly. I don't know. He might be fit to continue. I don't know, but he's down injured at the moment. But I think it might just be a tactical injury. It looks to be a tactical injury because they don't look to be getting anybody on ready, and yeah. Back up on his feet. Tactical injury. Tactical injury. Sporting made the sub anyway. Still 0-0. You know. At least I actually know the score in this game. I'm keeping up to date with this one. Ben White on the throw. Madueke. Gabriel. That's a good ball into Gyökeres. Can he turn and get the shot off? No, he gets it to White. Zubamendi! 1-0! 1-0 Arsenal, Zubamendi. That's my bet out the window, but at least something has happened. That's a good goal by Zubamendi as well. At least something has happened. Thank God. Thank God. Sporting are calling for offside on Gyökeres. I think it will be checked, but he didn't look offside from what I saw. And what did I tell you? Arsenal would find a way to win. They would. And someone's done something, thank God. Oh, Gyökeres is offside? I don't know if he's been played onside on the far side there, but potentially, I think the right back's played him on. I'm not too sure though. I'm going to need to see the lines. Draw me the lines. I think the goal has been given. Oh no! No, it hasn't been given. Sorry, it hasn't been given. Sorry. From his gesture, I didn't think the goal had been given. But then, like, Amazon still had it as 1-0. So I was like, well, all the Sporting fans are clapping, and he's just pointed for it to be a free kick, but Amazon haven't updated their graphics. But there we go. Amazon finally updated their graphics. I've updated my graphics. It's still 0-0 here. So nothing. False alarm. Nothing has happened. Trossard bet is still on, though, ladies and gentlemen. The Trossard bet is still on. Unfortunately. Yeah, he was well offside. This camera they've got all up in the stands is horrific. It was a good finish though by Zubamendi. I'll give him that. It was a good finish. Although it amounts to nothing, good finish. Trossard now with the ball forward to Gyökeres, but it sees us all the way through to Silva. Guys, do you think if I switched to the Real Madrid Bayern game now, do you think you guys would notice? Like, if I was just to switch to turn this game off, like, do you think anything meaningful would happen that I wouldn't give commentary on, that you guys would like realise that I'm not watching this game? Or do you think if I just sat here and just listed off a bunch of Arsenal players' names until the end of the game, yeah, do you think there'd be a goal and you guys would catch me out for being a fraud, or do you think I'd get away with it? Because I'm tempted, I'm tempted. Other than that offside goal, it's just been disallowed. Like I'm not seeing anything in the second half. That's just like I said, I'm firmly planted to the seat. And I don't think I'm gonna be moving from the seat anytime soon. Gabriel. Trossard. Zubamendi. White. Not White, Saliba even, sorry. Madueke. Araujo. He shrugs off Madueke, but then runs straight into Trossard. Now it's Zubamendi again. This time he finds Gyökeres. Gyökeres squeezes a shot off, but it's straight at Silva. And the goalkeeper picks it up routinely. Zubamendi. Forward to Odegaard. He flicks it on to Gyökeres, but it's cut out by the Sporting defender. Now it's Trossard. Trossard cuts inside. Trossard shoot, please. Trossard shoot. Ben White, don't shoot. Madueke. He goes back to Trossard. Now it's Odegaard. Now it's Madueke again. He lofts it into the box towards Calafiori, headed out by Diomande. Now it's Trossard. He flicks it back to Odegaard. Now it's Madueke. He beats Araujo and then goes to the byline to get the cross in. It's headed across from White, and then Silva just about keeps it in. Then he looks to distribute quickly and does. Hits it forward for Trincao to chase, but it's brought down by Rice. Damn! You'd have thought Ian Wright was on the pitch. My terrible pronunciation of English words in my first language. Zubamendi, who thought he gave Arsenal the lead until it was given offside for a pass forward to Gyökeres. Madueke. Zubamendi. Madueke. Zubamendi again. Nice Saliba. Nice Gabriel. Saliba. Zubamendi, he goes forward to Ben White, who holds it up nicely in the box, but then has it taken off him by Araujo. It's been lively all night, to be fair. The fullback. Zubamendi heads it down. And Sporting can try come away with the ball, but Trincao's head is intercepted by Rice. "20 minutes left of this game and it is still Sporting 0, Arsenal 0. Substitution for Arsenal now. Martin Odegaard, the captain, makes way for Kai Havertz. Who I think Odegaard was probably Arsenal's best player in the first half. I think he wasn't as effective in the second half, but he didn't completely disappear, and I thought he's probably been Arsenal's best player going forward. But so far, I'd say the best player has been Raya, because he's made a few decent saves. I think that save for Araujo's shot in the first 5 minutes it has probably been the best moment of the game for Arsenal perspective. Over in the Zubimendi goal before it was ruled out. Saliba forward. He finds Havertz on the right hand side, but it goes out for a throw. Oh, my mic almost just fell over there, and you would have heard the loudest bang. It's foul by Gyökeres. Free kick to Sporting in the right hand corner. I am regretting some serious life decisions tonight, boys. Really, really am. That's a poor ball forward again from Sporting. Trossard keeps it. Oh, Gabriel! Very sloppy on the ball there, and Sporting can come forward with Trincao. What was Gabriel doing there? I don't think it will amount to anything for Sporting, but that was still just very careless and lethargic on the ball from the Brazilian. It's now going to be a free kick to Arsenal. Gyökeres wins it just inside his own half. But I want to see a replay of what Gabriel's touch there. I don't think I'm going to get one because I think Raya's going to take the free kick. Gabriel. Raya. Don't think I'm getting a replay of that Gabriel touch, but he lost his mind for a split second. Just for a split second, though. I've literally just got the... Oh, wait, no. So that's for Real Madrid scoring. I was about to say they've literally just given me the Bayern goal alert, but that was for Real Madrid scoring. Who scored that one there? That was Mbappe. Of course it was Mbappe. But we're still 0-0 here. 73 minutes into this game. Zubimendi comes forward though. White. Now it's Madueke. Madueke whips across in, and it was creeping its way to Trossard at the far post, but it just escapes the Belgium and just drifts wide of the post. That could be my money there. It's only £4, but £4 better than nothing. Do you know what I mean? Dalman and Martinelli getting ready to come on. I did say it was going to be Jesus and Martinelli, but at least one of them's coming on. Does mean Trossard's going to be coming off though, probably, which does mean my money will be won't be coming in either way, which means I will then just be looking out for the Sporting win. Trincao. Again, Arsenal very quick back into possession, back into shape, and now they're pressing. Now as soon as Sporting get pushed back, they press high. Again, Sporting taking too long on this ball. For mine, they've worked a bit of space here. That was Trincao out on the right hand side for Sporting, blocked by Trossard, and I'll go out for a throw in. Trossard looks to be feeling some sort of pain and discomfort in his calf. And it will be Madueke coming off for Max Dowman, and it will be Trossard coming off for Martinelli. For the last, 15 minutes of this game? Probably, I don't know now. I still think Arsenal are gonna win this game somehow, some way. But I'm not too sure where the goal comes from, if I'm honest. I'm not too sure. Monday. It's a poor ball forward. Calafiori plays a 1-2 with Martinelli, but then gives away possession. Just again, like I said, I'd enjoy watching Arsenal football so much more if they had competent attackers. Like, that's just what kills it for me. That's what kills all the enjoyment of watching their games. Their attacking football is just beyond woeful. And I don't think anyone can have any arguments with that, right? I don't think anyone can have any arguments with that. There can't be a single Arsenal fan out there. Well, there's probably one. There's probably one absolute sicko that believes that Arsenal play good attacking football, right? And that they have competent attackers, right? But with Saka being injured and out of form this season, it is actually really highlighted how poor the rest of their attackers are, right? Again, I think Gyökeres could definitely do better, but the rest of them are just poor. So poor, and Saka's drop in form has really exposed a lot of these frauds up there. And if Arteta wants anybody to continue watching this football, he needs to go and buy some competent attackers, because, again, like I said earlier in the stream, you know, the way Arsenal defend is really, really good. You know, they regroup really quickly, get back into position, get everyone behind the ball, and then press, right? So you're not going to see the other team play any good attacking football against them, right? So you'd hope that Arsenal are going to play attacking football, and you just don't get it. Because you just watch Martinelli and Madueke run into dead ends. Now that I say that, that's a lovely ball around the corner from Martinelli, and the cross from Calafiori misses Gyökeres and is cleared by Sporting. Now Sporting can try to come forward. Some decent combination play here, and it finds its way to Suarez. Thoughts on the game so far? One of the worst games of football I've ever watched. That was close there from Sporting. This is one of the worst games of football I've ever watched. And I'm actually not, for once in my life, I will hold my hands up and say I'm not being hyperbolic. This is actually one of the worst games of football I've ever watched. I can't do it. I can't watch Arsenal try build an attack anymore. I can't do it. I cannot physically do it. For literally 70 minutes of this game, I had to watch them pass the ball to Madueke and hope. Right? And you know what? Fair is, if the player you're passing to is Lionel Messi, Lamine Yamal, right? Even Bukayo Saka, yeah? All players of that caliber, right? You're passing to them and you're hoping, fair enough. But when you're passing to Noni Madueke and you're hoping for him to do something, I don't know what you expect to happen, Mikel Arteta. I don't get it. I don't get it. And like I said, Vibes, earlier, right? Saka's drop in form has exposed these fellow attackers at Arsenal Football Club as absolute frauds. Because it's actually scary to watch. But Arsenal will find a way to win this game 1-0 in the last 10 minutes. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Arsenal will win this game 1-0. Right? They will win this game 1-0. Arsenal will somehow not draw this game. Right? Despite performing absolutely woeful in the final third. You know, they won't draw this game, and it's not from a lack of trying to draw this game. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. That it's clear and obvious the reason why he's had a drop in form, but you know, Saka actually might be the GOAT because he was getting players like Martinelli to put up put up good numbers for an attacker in the Premier League. Saka may be the greatest of all time. Because this Martinelli experience, oof, get it over and done with. Kante, you've got blood on your hands for allowing this man to score that goal against Chelsea. You've got serious blood on your hands, bro. I can't do it. I can't watch this, man. I can't. It's hurting my head. 10 minutes left. Where is the Arsenal goal coming from? Zubamendi. Kai Havertz. Oh. Never mind, it's went out for a goal kick. I actually just... Oh, why did I do this? There was a perfectly good game of football being played at this exact time that is still going on as we speak, and I chose not to watch it. We are watching a Bayern Munich currently leading 2-1 at the Bernabeu in the Champions League, and I chose to watch this, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I chose to watch this. Because I thought I was some sort of footballing hipster. And I thought Arsenal were going to have something for me. I thought Arsenal, after losing 2 games in a row, losing a cup final and losing to a championship team, I thought Arsenal were going to have something special for me tonight. I thought they were going to go play out with some aggression and some intensity and show the world why they are the favourites for the Premier League and why they're going to win the Premier League. But they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Calafiori has just turned into Bambi on ice. Oh, that was close. That was close. That was close. But Calafiori actually just turned into Suarez just turned Calafiori into Bambi on ice. And that's a good save by Raya. Very, very good save by Raya. This Raya carry job right now that I'm watching. "83 minutes on the clock, still 0-0. And I'm still regretting my life choices, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still regretting them. I still am. Tell you what, the only sub Arteta could make that would guarantee a goal in this game is deadass taking Raya off for Kepa. That's the only way you're guaranteed to see a goal in this game, because my word, I'm shocked and appalled. I actually didn't think it could get worse than when I watched Arsenal win 1-0 against Everton. I didn't think it could get much worse than that, right? I actually thought that was football at rock bottom. But this is... Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. We may win at the Etihad, ladies and gentlemen. We may win at the Etihad. We may beat Arsenal. Arsenal may win the league. But from what I'm seeing right now, we might go unbeaten against the team that wins the league, ladies and gentlemen. This will be the first time I think Man City don't lose against the leaders since 2024, 2023, 2022 and 2021. Can you believe that Manchester City went 4 years without losing to the Premier League champions, right? And then we lost twice to Liverpool last season. But I think we're going to be back to form, because I don't think Martinelli, please. No, he shot straight at the goalkeeper. He shot straight at the goalkeeper. Do Arsenal players know they're allowed? They don't. Just because there is a man stood in the middle of the goal wearing yellow doesn't mean they have to fire all of their shots at the man wearing yellow. Do they know they are allowed to aim the ball elsewhere other than the man in yellow? Because I think someone may need to tell them that and tell them that they don't need to aim for him. And the actual object of the game is to get it past him. I can't, man. Why did I do this to myself? Why did I do this to myself? Fun fact, since becoming manager, Arteta has spent more time first in the league than Pep. Yeah, that is an interesting fact. That is an oh, one moment. I've actually just completely... There we are, sorry. That is an interesting fact. That is an interesting fact. But, nah, this is dark. This is dark stuff, please. Like... Nah, this is crazy, man. Savinho, I'll never criticise you again, my brother, because watching Madueke and Martinelli, oh man, it's opened my eyes to how good you are, Savinho. And here comes Sporting. 3-on-2. So far. Save by Raya! Suarez, another save by Raya. Tell you what, right? Tell you what. Where good question to the chat. Where would Arsenal be if David Raya did not exist? Where would they be in the league? That's a question. I'm going to pose that question. Because he's the only reason they're not losing this game. And then he comes out with a good claim there again. Is this what modern day football is? Is this actually what modern day football is? Because if so, I might switch sports. Because I do quite like watching tennis. Shall I change my channel name to Nathan Knows Racket? Who wants to see? Put a W in the chat if you want to see Nathan Knows Racket instead of Nathan Knows Ball, because football may be over. This attacking display from Arsenal, football may well and truly be dead. Arsenal's front line have killed my love for football. Single-handedly killed my love for football. If anyone ever asks me, Nathan, why do you not love football anymore? I will just say three names. I will say Martinelli. I will say Madueke, and I don't know if it's Gyökeres or Trossard. I don't know which one's killing it more for me. I don't know which one's killing it more for me. Rice, save football for me right now. Dalman, please save football for me right now. I am praying for a 16-year-old to save football for me right now, because these grown men, these fully grown men, are ruining the sport I love. I might become a coffee connoisseur. I might just become Nathan Knows Bean. Nathan Knows Java. Dalman, save the sport for me right now. Never mind. We're about to reach the 90th minute and it is still 0-0. I can't believe I've watched it. I can't believe I've subjected myself to this. Good things must be coming my way in the coming days after I've endured this torture. Because why did I think this was a good idea? Bayern Munich are beating Real Madrid 2-1 right now in Madrid. And I decided, nah, I'm going to watch this. Because I stupidly thought Arsenal were going to have something for me. But in these last 2 minutes that have been added on to this game, if Arsenal do not score something spectacular right now, something spectacular needs to happen right now for me to actually be impressed. Martinelli go. Martinelli go. Havertz scores. Havertz scores. Yes, I've seen a goal, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen a goal. This one should not get ruled out. Arsenal 1, Sporting 0. And that was good from Martinelli. You know what? I will applaud Martinelli. That was good from Martinelli. I enjoyed that. That's what I've been waiting 90 whole minutes to see. I've been starved of that for 90 whole minutes. But thank you, Martinelli. Thank you for taking some initiative. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Because it's been a painful 90 minutes. But Martinelli, you have made it worth it, my friend. So he just cuts inside. You know, he dances past two. And the ball into the box. Whew! The touch by Havertz as well. The touch by Havertz as well is clean. He's absolutely killed that one. And given Silva no chance. What a touch that is by Havertz. He kills it with his studs. Good goal. Good goal. Something... to be fair, you did tell me Bayern would win 2-1. FT, you did tell me that, my boy. I've seen a good goal. And I did tell you Arsenal would win this game somehow. And at least it was a good goal to win the game. If I had to watch a tap-in be scored, I would have slammed my head against the desk. Martinelli, Kai Havertz, thank you so much. You've saved my evening. The hate watch was so unsuccessful that I ended up rooting for the team I was meant to be hate watching to score because the game of football was that bad. Sporting, don't you dare. Sporting, don't you dare. No, don't you dare. Don't you dare. No way. No, Sporting, don't you dare. Sporting Lisbon, do not dare. Ball into the box. Oh, Raya's punched out. Why has he not caught that? Raya, have you lost your marbles, bro? Surely he has to catch that. I mean, it's not going to mean anything because the whistle's going to go in about a minute or so. But why has he not caught that? He had time to catch that. Has he lost his marbles? Wait, it could amount to something, you know? Oh, how's he not got there? That could have been it. That could have been a great end to one of the worst Champions League games I've ever watched. Instead, we're just getting a good ending. But that could have been a great ending. That could have restored all of my faith in this sport. But instead, that Kai Havertz goal has just given the sport a lifeline. It's still not back. It's still far from back. But it's just not over. There we go. Raya caught that one and that should be the game. That should be the game. That should be the game. Bayern win 2-1. Arsenal win 1-0. And Kai Havertz, Martinelli, thank you for saving football in my opinion. Because that was a dark 90 minutes. And I can say that because the goal came in the 93rd minute. That was a dark 90 minutes. But Arsenal got there. Told you Arsenal would win this game somehow. That was not pretty. That was far from pretty. That was disgusting. But they got there in the end. So guys, like the stream if you have not already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for joining me on this very, very, very depressing Tuesday evening where I've been subjected to watch Arsenal's front line. But there you have it, guys. There you have it, guys. You know. Thanks for tuning in, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.